Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to discuss about early warning systems in disaster management. So basically, like most of us know what is an early warning system. Before any disaster is actually going to hit our location, an early warning will be sent to all the people who are present in a particular location where the disaster is going to hit, so that they can save their lives. The early warning systems are actually available with the help of different sensors and also different remote sensing images. There are different early warning systems that are being adopted based on the disaster. So we'll see few examples of this early warning systems that are adopted in real life. So first, what do you say a early warning system? So what is it capable of? So the first thing is before any catastrophic events or before any extreme events or disaster occurrences, a particular will actually sense what is going to happen based on the factors or scenarios that influence the particular factor. So we'll sense them, we'll identify the small and minor changes and also the drastic changes that are actually happening. And based on those changes, we'll predict when it is going to happen and then we'll send a response. That is we'll send a warning to all of them. So how do we send this warning? Through media, through radio stations, through social media also can be done and through messages also. Basically, the government sector used to send messages, information through messages. That is why they collect all the informations of all the people that are present in the location. So this helps when it is this if the early warning system is implemented. This helps people to escape to a safer location or to migrate to a safer location and keep themselves safe during a disaster. So, what are the characteristics of this particular early warning system? So, basically, the first thing that comes into picture is for an early warning system, we need a strong technical knowledge, and also we should be able to analyze the data sets as early as possible. So, for that, we need a proper technical knowledge, and also we should have this we should actually process it in a fast way. So that is why we depend more on this machine learning and artificial intelligence techniques. Then the second thing where the decision makers also plays a major role in here. So they to actually based on analyze what are the data set that has been analyzed. Based on that, the decision maker should make a decision what can be done now. So that also play a major role. Third thing is if an information is being circulated to the people or the community, what they have to do is they should be aware of how they should get themselves safe to a safer location. You can't simply run here and there. That will be a disaster again. So we should move in a proper path and we should keep ourselves safe. So that plays a major role. And the last fourth characteristics is it should be understandable. All the early warning system should be understandable by a general user. It should not be much more complicated. It should be very simple. And if a disaster is going to happen, then they'll say a disaster is going to hit Chennai at this particular time. Kind of you can see the cyclones nowadays. They are giving early warning systems very frequently for these cyclones. So all schools and colleges will be shut down during that day, and so many other stuffs are actually happening. So that is necessary. So what are the phases of this early warning system? The first thing is we'll measure the parameters or precursors. What are the factors that influence the disaster, or what are the factors that contribute to that disaster? We actually measure those, then we'll actually forecast it, and in case if we forecast it, then we'll send a warning to them, And once the warning is sent to this particular people, they have to actually react, and they have to move themselves to a safer location. So, as far as this predictions are concerned, cyclone is being taken care by Indian Meteorological Department. Earthquake is also taken care by IMD. But basically, this earthquake, it is hard to predict. You can't predict an earthquake. We can't say like there will be a precise prediction of where the earthquake will happen. But basically, like we say like if the epicenter is at different location, and in case like the waves, that is the earthquake waves is being felt, then in that case, based on the primary and secondary waves, we can actually like make sure we can save some people. Like, we can predict to certain extent, and we can save the life of people. So, tsunami in Kois. So in Kois, I hope you know what is in Kois. This is located in Hyderabad, because basically like after this 2004 tsunami, they are actually like working hard in prediction of this tsunami. Like they have this uh, mm, buoys installed in the river where they monitor this sea level rise. If there is any small variation in the tides or waves, then they will actually like get a warning, and based on that, they will give this early warning messages. Similarly, with this floods, the CAWC plays a major role. So nowadays, like we get early warning for the cyclones and floods very easily. We don't have to like think that like we'll actually like lose life during these things, because government is working properly, and they are providing us all the disaster, like all the yearly warnings for floods and cyclones very frequently nowadays. So as far as this earthquake is concerned, basically like there is a particular device called Shake Alert, which was actually developed by the United States. So they actually help us predict earthquake with the exact time and date where it is going to happen. So this will help us reducing this life loss of lives. So this is basically based on they will install series of sensors in the ground, and based on the movement of this P wave and S wave, they will actually like predict like where it is going to happen, when it is going to happen. All those things will be like actually predicted. So first thing is like we'll actually find the P wave, we'll locate the P wave. Then based on that, like we'll go with the S waves. Yeah, this is how we'll actually get this warning. So there is an epicenter in this particular location. So this is how we'll get the warning in the screen, and I'll show you this particular example. So you can see this is the earthquake alert center. This is the city, and there are different sensors installed at different locations. So you can see the first felt wave, that is the P wave, and the second, which is the second wave, or the S wave, which which is actually the damaging wave, you can say, or which will be of a higher magnitude. You can see like that. So basically, like the fast P waves will move faster, and the sensors will predict them. The sensors will record them, and they'll send the signals to the location where the people are available. And based on that, when the S wave will actually hit, and other details will be like predicted, and the exact information will be shared to all the persons located in the city, so that like they can keep themselves safe, or they can move themselves to a safer location during this particular disaster. This is an example of how it works. And the next thing is for a flood. So basically, like if you go with your flood, here nowadays we are using all these remote sensing modelings like HEDCRAS, HMS. There are different models that are present. If this much of rainfall comes, this is how much extent the flood will actually go. There are so many modelings that is being carried out, but the basic stuff which they used to do is like they used to install a yeah. So this is the basic warning system that is being carried out. The same phase as yours. Once they will detect it, they'll take the input parameters, they'll forecast it, then they'll set certain thresholds. Based on that, they will actually like send a warning. Other than that, what can be done, how to recover, and all those stuff will be actually happening. So basically, in this floods, it is mostly due to either rainfall or melting of ice. So this is how the floods actually happen. In northern India, like or in Himalayas, in those locations, it will be mostly due to this melting of ice. And in southern part of these locations, it will be mostly due to this rainfall. So if it is rainfall, then we can actually like predict easily, because we know at this particular location what will be the volume of rainfall that is going to be recorded, because rainfall predictions are already available. So based on that, we can easily recognize it. But one better way how to save ourselves is this. You can see here. So this is a better example of what has been adopted. We have a transmitter which will be installed near our river. So this is how the transmitters will be installed. So basically, this will be the transmitter, and this will be the receiver. So what they used to do with this transmitter is they used to install this near the banks of the river, and this receiver will be installed in our house with all the yearly alarm and other stuffs. So in case if they record some sort of an increase in this water level in the river, it will be recorded by this transmitter, and that signals will be sent to the receiver, and the user will get the data. So this will be like present in each and every houses, kind of like in the hill stations, and so that they will be like aware of what is happening, and they can actually like record, because like we don't know when the snow will melt, when the water will increase, and other stuffs. There are like technologies like INSAR technology is one thing, and the surface deformation one thing. There are like different methodologies. They install so many sensors. They monitor this ice melting regularly. But still, this is one of the easiest way, because like we don't know when, where the other stuffs are there. But when we come to know about like the level of water in the river, then we can actually easily predict it. So that is why this is present. And so this is like a tsunami warning system. So basically, like I hope you know what is the tsunami warning system. So we'll have all these uh, dot systems. We have these. Uh, we'll have our tsunami warning center, which is located over here. So this is kind of like, you can say, in case of India, this is INCOIS, which is present, and we'll have the surface buoys like floating on the surface of this river. Sorry, on the surface of the ocean. It will be like anchored to the bottom, and we have certain tsunometer and installed in the bottom. So what will happen is, basically like this particular buoys will be like present in this ocean level, and if there is an increase in this height, like sea level height or other things, that will be actually recorded. You can see this kind of buoys installed. If you see this movie called Battleship, you can see how they will actually they have it at different grids, kind of a thing. Those are all actually called as buoys. They will be installed, and they will be used to monitor even small changes in the river. No, sorry, in the ocean. Even if there is like if a wave is like getting 1 meter high, that will be recorded, and they based on that we can actually like predict it. So this is one better example, and this has been adopted by India also. It has been adopted all over the world to predict tsunami. And cyclones are mostly predicted with the help of remote sensing data sets only. So they'll generate, they'll capture the cyclone information. That is, they'll continuously capture this meteorological information, and they'll actually like process it, and based on that, they will predict this cyclones. So for prediction of the cyclones, we use scatterometers. That is a type of sensor that will be installed in a satellite to capture the information of the cloud. So basically, like they what to do is like it will hit this cloud, and based on the density of the cloud, it will get that based on the density of the cloud, we will be able to determine the rainfall in that particular location, and also like we'll be able to determine the wind speed, direction, and other factors also. So based on these, you will be able to, like, this is how a scatterometer like will actually scan it and you'll get an image. For as far as India is concerned, we have StatSat 1 right now, which is a daily data which you can use in for processing, or you can like use it for any prediction of this cyclones, or even floods also they are using it. And nowadays like they are using these spectrometers for agricultural applications also. So these are some of the examples of this cyclone. Hope you understand what is these early warning systems and what are the early warning systems that are adopted in real time. If you have any queries, post it in the comments. Thank you.